Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Today's date is December 24th, 2023. It is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. Laurel is in the show. She says Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve to you too, Laurel. Boy, I am all tied up in the tongue tonight. I am all tied up in the tongue. Hopefully it will get untied. Say, bring you good tidings, not tidings as in tiding of the tongue, tied up of the tongue. Tonight's coffee is chocolate-covered strawberries from Dunklin from Dunkin' Donuts brand. Laurel says, waiting for the grandson to be sound asleep. Well, hopefully he'll be nodding off here shortly. And hopefully folks will jump on into the show. Man, I am all phlegmy tonight. We got another warm spell coming in. And like Gus said on the last show, that we are expecting rain, and it is. It's raining out there tonight. The girls are all happy. They're all happy. They like the warm weather. They don't mind the cold, but they like the warm weather, relatively speaking. Wasn't too fond of the really hot weather that they had this summer. But outside now, it's in the... I don't know, it's got to be upper 30s. Let's find out. $36. Good, and a message from the youngest. Says, I love you very much. Or no, she says, Merry Christmas Eve. I love you very, very much. I love you too. If I can stop it. No. Okay, 36. Feels warmer than 36. Laurel says tomorrow was supposed to be warm and a lot of rain here. Yeah, looks like that's the way the season's opening up. Done pretty good on oil. Still got half a tank, so I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Went down and checked it the other day. It's like, yes. It's always good coming back up from the cellar and going, yes, oil's fine. As I posted up on Facebook, I have my prime rib. Standing rib roast without the ribs. Sat and it's in the refrigerator. Got it all rubbed down, packed in nice and wrapped up and put in there. You want at least about 24 hours. But more is good. I just forgot about it the other day. I was gonna get it all rubbed down and put it in. I forgot about it. Didn't forget today, so I put it in there today. Plan on having dinner anywhere time between 4 and 5:30. someplace there. Usually Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're usually closer to like 2. We're going with a more standard dinner time for Christmas this year. Waiting for folks to roll in. Where are you? You out there, Gus? Gus likes to ghost and then not let me know until, deep into the show if he's there. You there, Gus? Gus and Sally. As we start the show, I'll go ahead and say that The reason for the season. You got two. You got secular and you've got Christian religion. Let's go the reason for the season Christian. No, Christ was not born in December. By all accounts, he's born in the spring. Doesn't matter. We celebrate when we celebrate. And when we celebrate, we've got to remember the gift that Christ was to mankind. We've also got to remember what Christ was not. And folks who like to snipe at the Christian religion, and sadly too many modern Western Christians, Western as in Europe and North America, not as in Cowboy. Western modern Christianity has lost its way for the most part. So let me tell you what Christ wasn't. Christ was not a socialist, contrary to what many on the left want to say. Christ was not a socialist. He believed in each person doing what they're supposed to do. But he understood that government has a different role. See, socialism is not universal charity by the masses. Socialism gathers from the masses and distributes. That's not right. Socialism controls. It's not what Christianity does. It's not what Christ teaches. Christ was not a socialist. Another thing that Christ wasn't is Christ was not a pacifist. Oh, but John, he didn't fight back and he hung on the cross. It's like, yeah, he didn't fight back because he needed to die for our sins to fulfill prophecy. It's not pacifism. I've mentioned this on the show many times. Number one, his employees were armed. Were commanded that if you have a cloak but not a sword, sell your cloak and get a sword. It doesn't sound too much like a fucking pacifist to me. Also, when sitting in front of the dihedron, and they were questioning him, and they struck him, he said, "By whose authority do you strike me?" Doesn't sound like a pacifist to me. Jesus also went to the temples and turned the tables out of righteous indignation and anger. Doesn't sound like a pacifist to me. No, Christ was not a pacifist. Christ was not Hallmark Jesus. He was not merely a soft-spoken man, sitting in white robes, patting children on the head and having little birds flit to his shoulders. Yeah, that wasn't Jesus. That wasn't Christ. Christ was a revolutionary. He was not Mr. Soft-Spoken. He often raised his voice in rebuke and anger. Which brings me to another thing that Christ wasn't. Christ was not unjudgmental. Christ was not some hippie, love is all that matters. Anything goes. Because we love you. That wasn't Christ. Christ welcomed all into the embrace, but demanded change. Unlike the modern church, let's broaden the tent. Let's bring everybody in because everybody is welcome. Yeah, everybody is welcome, but change is required. Change is required. Christ demanded change. Pretty damn judgmental. Yeah. Christ was a lot of things, but Christ was also not a lot of things. And the one thing that Christ wouldn't have been for many modern Western Christians is he wouldn't have been a pretty damn good Christian. They would have rebuked him for not being a good Christian. Jesus, you need to be better. You need to be a good Christian. Christianity isn't about this. No. Stop. Christ was the antithesis of many of the modern churches. And they're grifting off of his good name. But we were warned about this. We were warned. So there's a handful of things that Christ was not. My goodness, I do love this coffee. Again, chocolate covered strawberries is a dark roast from Dunkin' Donuts brand. Hey, one-tailed white boy, how you doing? He says, Merry Christmas, Mr. Cowboy. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Again, we're waiting for the folks to come in. Should be a fairly relaxed show, Christmas Eve show. I spent the last 2 days doing a lot of guitar playing. Let's see. The guitar was downstairs. It wasn't in my studio. I told myself, well, maybe I'll record a Christmas Eve or a Christmas song for folks and put it out there. But I was just relaxing. I was relaxing. I got my stool down there. I got a stool in the studio. It's a bar height back chair. Play something. Yeah, the guitar's downstairs. And I got a standard wooden stool for playing downstairs. Got a nice pad on it. But I was just down there just enjoying myself, just playing out, going from one song to another. So I'd play for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I'd go and do some other stuff. And get a hankering and sit down again later and play for another 20 minutes or so. Thus goes my last couple days. Man, I am phlegmy. I am phlegmy. Flemish twist. Bowstring. No, it's a phlegm from mucus. Need some Mucilex, or what's it called? Mucilex? those mucus monsters. It's a medicine. So how's the weather over there, white boy? Yeah, it's 36 and raining here. Laurel says that it's supposed to be warm, but a lot of rain tomorrow for her. Was hoping for a white Christmas. I'd said on the last few shows, I like, at least in the last week leading up to Christmas, I like a good, 4 to 8 inches of snow, enough to cover it up. White boy says, it's okay, not too cold. No snow, unfortunately. Yeah, it seems to be the way of things. And the good thing is if it's not going to get cold, have some rain. You need the moisture, or else everything's going to be dry. It said 50 degrees 50 C Fahrenheit. 50 Fahrenheit. Is it 50 degrees Fahrenheit? If that's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that's pretty damn warm. Yeah, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warm. Holy cow. That's pretty warm for December, isn't it? For the end of December. Yeah, you're around Frankfurt, right? Greater Frankfurt area. Isn't that where you said you were? You should be a bit colder, right? We got a little bit of a lag today, not too bad. Yes, it's called Rhine-Hesse. It's because the Rhine River flows through the area for folks. Okay, here we go. We've gone over this before. Es ist die, das oder der Rhein. Das Rhein, die Rhein. Der Rhein, das Rhein, das Rhein. I'd say das Rhein. And depending upon what you're saying, which is it? It's a wide region, so we need the dry weather. Oh, it's a wine region, so we need the dry weather. Okay, but you don't want a drought for the next year. Der Rhein. He is a man for some reason. Yeah. We talked about that too. It's like, oh, which is it? Is it masculine, feminine, or neutral? And how do you know? Well, you learn it that way. Ich war mit meiner Frau sprechen. Und ich habe gesagt, dass mein Deutsch ist sehr scheiße. Jetzt. White boy says he is not binary, or he is non-binary. No. No. Well, you say what? He's water fluid. Yes, rivers are masculine. The rivers are water fluid. Well, I guess unless they're frozen. Oh, my goodness. And of course, white boy was probably like, he was like, listen to my German going, you know what, sir? You're absolutely correct. Laurel says he's a dude, knows he's a dude. Oh, my goodness. Man, I am wiped out. Don't know why. But it is what it is. Okay, we got some people. Come on in here. When you join in the show, go ahead and say hey. Or hi. Or ho. Ho. Call everybody a ho. No, don't do that. Okay, what else we got going on here? U.S. military is the lowest it's been since 1940 freaking one. Holy crap. White boy says, your German is better, like some people that live here, like 5 years, brother. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's I sometimes get the orders mixed up and the tense of words, but I used to be I used to be pretty good. Like I said, I've been stationed there twice. I used to be rather good. I mean, that's been a good hell. Excuse me, 25, more than 25 years of not speaking it. Except for dirty stuff. Except for the dirty stuff. There's some things you never forget. Like some of the first things is, Entschuldigen Sie bitte, wo ist der Bahnhof? Entschuldigen Sie bitte, haben Sie eine Zigarette, bitte? These are things that they teach soldiers. No matter what country they go to, there's common phrases. And when I asked where the train station was, the second I asked is if they had a cigarette, please, or can I have a cigarette, please? So there's just some basic stuff. The white boy says, you have a wife, so you don't need it no more. Yeah, and she doesn't speak German, so. Laurel says, my husband can swear at you in about 10 different languages. Don't have command of the rest. Right, yeah. Swears, you learn swears pretty quick. Fichtig. Right there, white boy. Fichtig. Is it? It's a swear for all occasions. Says that's impressive. Oh, sweet, speaking in 10 different languages. Oh my God, yeah, you got to learn how to swear in all sorts of languages. Du eres cabrón. Vous toi. Vous toi. And fichtig, same thing. One's French, one's German. Oddly enough, I don't know how to say that in Spanish. He says, ah, yes, wonderful word. Arschloch. German's an interesting, wunderbar Wort. Was ist das, das du hab gesagt? Ich habe keine Ahnung. But German's, it's like some language. If you don't listen hard, just listen, and you'll pick up words because a lot of them are very similar to English and or comparable languages. Wie geht's? Wie geht es Ihnen? Same thing. One's casual, one's a little bit more, Wie geht's? What's up? What's going? What's up? Hey. Wie heißen Sie? Oder wie heißt du? So what's your name or what's your name? First one is formal. The second one is casual. Right, white boy? I tell you what, if people are living there for 5 years and they don't speak better German than me, shame on them. Shame on them. Shame. Oh, do you know what Santa Claus says in German? Ho, ho, ho. Like, no, stop it. See, Laurel, now you can tell people that you can speak German too. That's what he says. He said that. Ich bin Santa Claus. Santa Claus. No, it's an. I don't know what Santa is in German. What would Santa Claus be in German? Santa Claus. Große Hunger? I just said big hungry. A lot of hunger. Very hungry. Santa Claus. Du bist bescheuert. Halt die Fresse. Halt die Schnipper, Schnaps. Oh, Christmas man. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. It's just Weihnachtsmann. Weihnacht or wie? Wie? Weihnachtsmann? Weihnachtsmann. Man. But the Christ child brings the presents, I think. Coca-Cola invented Santa, right? No. Coca-Cola didn't invent Santa Claus, no. They just marketed him. No. Macy's, on the other hand, Macy's invented Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. But no, Santa Claus was, he's way back before Coca-Cola. Laurel says, I worked with a lady from Germany. God knows she tried to teach me a bit. But there were 4 or 5 words for table, depending on, yeah, well, you just wing it. Just wing it. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. You'll learn over time. Having a discussion with the missus about that the other day, about how German, and there's other languages where the orders of the words in the sentence are not the same as English, where the English is succinct. Same way with numbers, it's succinct. And like in German, they're not succinct. Says, oh yeah, I'm stupid. Oh my God, he's called Niklaus in German. Oh, Niklaus. No, that's okay. You can do. Hey, we're all entitled to be stupid every now. Niklaus. Yeah, Niklaus. Yeah, no shit. Nikolaus. But he comes at the 6th December over here. Well, yeah, it's a big world. It's a big world. But yeah, like 123 is written 1, 2, 3. We say 123, and in German it's 100, 3, and 20. So you have to listen. 123. So you can't, if you're writing down numbers, you can't write them exactly as, you have to wait until it's got to. Ein Million. 300.000. 435. It's like, okay, some of it goes in line, but then if I did it in the middle, like ein Million, 387, 914. It's weird. It's weird. It's the way it's. But see, I said 14. See, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The teens, it's just like it is in English. They've got their 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hey, Yoshevik, how you doing? Merry Christmas Eve. White boy says, "Yeah, I still struggle with the numbers. It's not good. Good sign. Yeah, because they're not the same. That's one of the most blatant changes between English and German, is the way the numbers are laid out is not. It's worse if you're just writing them down. It's like okay, but if you're writing them down to then do math problems, it'll fuck you up every time." Yashevik says, "I wish you nice time with your family, Cowboy." Thank you, and same to you and yours. Christmas is a good, especially in the West. It's a good holiday because it's got both the. You don't have to be a Christian to celebrate it because it's got a secular section to it. A social ritual that's not specifically hinged upon the Christian faith. But Thanksgiving, everybody needs Thanksgiving. That's a holiday that needs to go around the whole world. I don't ever recall. Now I used to celebrate Thanksgiving in Germany with German families, but it was me sharing my holiday with them. It's a good holiday. Right. White boy says sometimes you have to think 1 second before you write the big numbers. Right, that's what I'm saying. You can't just write. You've got to wait. There's got to be a lag there because you don't know where they're going. It's like, okay, I think I know. Oh, fuck. That's not the number they wanted. they say it's. Where again in English, just say the number. You can write it down as they're saying it. You don't need to try to outthink them. You don't have to wait because we just say it right in order. Laurel says giving thanks is always good. It is good, and I have harped on this many times that one of the problems with the West is people are not thankful enough. They are not truly grateful for the things that they have, and that's terrible. Always be thankful for what you have. Could be worse. It could be worse. But I'm not one of these people that says, oh, if something bad's happening to you, you got to brush it off because somebody else is having it worse someplace else. No, I don't subscribe to that. Look, you know what? You stub your toe, it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt you a hell of a lot more than if my leg was blown off. So don't feel bad for feeling that you got your stubbed toe. It hurts. To keep it in priority. Don't act like your leg got blown off, but try to dismiss your own pain because somebody else might be experiencing something more painful. Nah, to me that's foolish. It's also disingenuous. You can try to tell yourself that all you want. You ain't going to think it. So yeah, do not dismiss your depression or your pain or your anger. As Scripture tells us, there is a time for everything. There is a season for all. Yasevich says, be thankful is the most important thing, especially with what's going on in the Middle East and Africa. Yeah, and there's dust up. Tis the season again. There's dust up all over the place. Man, I just wish. I wish shit would calm down. We are just rolling into one mess after another, and then they spark and feed off each other. And of course, that ain't nothing new in the Middle East. it's the history of mankind in that part of the world. Not unique to them, but most of the other places have settled down by now. Like, stop it. But I ain't running shit. And it ain't my battle anymore. It ain't my battle. Been there, done that. Ain't my battle. My battle is here. My family. My nation. And dealing with the knuckleheads here, messing things up. I can deal with them knuckleheads. Let people deal with knuckleheads in the Middle East with themselves. And I got to deal with the knuckleheads here. Yep, knuckleheads. Trying to keep Trump off the ballot in states. Lincoln was kept off of 10 ballots. 10 ballots in what was it 1841? When was that? When was this election? Was that the 1841? I got 41 stuck in my head because it was 1941 was the last time we were this low in military strength. White boy says, I hope you guys won't go into a second civil war. No, yeah. No, I agree. You know, I honestly, here's the problem. Most of the people in the United States, they know the deal. No matter what political side they are, they know the deal. They know it's bullshit. It's a few that are riling up idiots. So if we can get the courts to rule correctly, and we keep the idiots in check, we'll be okay. The problem is it's being set up, and I warned about this, and it's being set up now where no matter what the next election's outcome is, the people on the right's not going to, if Trump wins, if he's nominated, excuse me. Do I know the book 1984? Yes, I do. If it's Trump and Biden, and Biden wins, the people on the right aren't going to believe it was a fair election. If Trump wins, the people on the left aren't going to believe it's a fair election. It's being set up that way. And that's dangerous. And it's being set up that way because primarily people on the left are pushing that narrative, and the people on the right didn't make sure that the issues that came about during the last election weren't taken care of. Yeah, Yash says, best not to talk about it. We don't want to be on the CIA watch list. Too late. Too late. Laurel says it was required reading in middle school. Yeah, 1984, a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities were things that we have experienced in the last handful of years. Yep. A little on the nose. A little on the nose. Mm. Oh. Yep. So yeah, we've got issues here in the States to worry about. And here's another thing. If the experiment that is the United States fails, the world falls apart. The economic system is based on the United States. world security is based on the United States. What am I drinking? I'm drinking chocolate-covered strawberry coffee from Dunkin' Donuts brand coffee. It is delicious. I start out with my mug. Start out with a mug. See the mug? My youngest got me this. It says, "This dad is the man, the myth, the legend, 100% authentic, one of a kind." And that's what that says. And then I switch over to my Orca travel mug. It's this takes 2 full cups of coffee. So each show goes 3 cups. White Boy says, yes, most of the Western world. Yeah. Well, it's the Western world that's keeping the rest in check. I can tell you what, if the Western world was to collapse, the Middle East would be, it'd be rubble. There's shit going on in Asia, and there's shit going on in Africa. And while there's always little things going on, sometimes they seem big, but the world would burn. The general stability, if the West goes, so goes the world. So not a good thing. Not a good thing. And we got the left pushing to have the United States perpetually invaded by illegal immigrants. Posted up today. There's illegal immigrants coming into the United States, been given court dates that are 8 years down the road. 8 years. So they tell them, yeah, this is your court date in 2031. Show up and we'll review your case and determine your... It's like, what the hell? Number one, they're not going to show up. Number two, if they did, they probably have three anchor babies already. Laurel says, I'm more afraid for my grandsons. Yeah, because this shit's rolling over. Here's another thing, and I pointed this out, that the United States government and representation is based not simply on votes, but primarily numbers. There's you get representatives in Congress based on the number of people in your area. People. Not citizens. Not people there legally, just people. Bodies. So, when you get a flood of illegal immigrants, they're counted on the census. And a region that has them will get more representation. Now that means, like, let's say instead of X area having one representative sent to Washington, they get 2 sent there. And if that's a Democrat area, they get 2 Democrats. If it's a Republican, they get 2 Republicans. Might be 1 Republican, 1 independent, whatever. Laurel says should be citizens only. Yes, it should be citizens only. I personally think it should be not just citizens, it should be voters. Legal voters. X amount of legal voters. So in other words, kids, if you have 7 kids, that's not 9 people. That's 2 people. Mother and father. The kids, they're not a voting age. They shouldn't get direct representation via their representatives. Right, it's even better. Voting representatives. Yeah, Razovich said that system is so easily exploitable. It is. Here's another reason why this issue. I'm sure you've heard of the 3/5 compromise. Have you guys heard about that? Gash and White Boy? The 3/5 compromise. Now the left likes to use it as, see, the Republicans said that black people weren't full human beings. It's like, no. No, what it was is there was still slavery at the time. And the slave owners wanted to count their slaves for representation. So if you had a slave owner and he had, like, let's say 50 slaves, that's 50 more people that got credit for representation in that area. So what the Republicans said is, okay, so you're not going to allow your slaves to vote. You're not going to give them any rights whatsoever. But you want to count them for representation? That's fucked up. Now, this is back pre-Civil War era, by the way. So this is not modern. This isn't modern stuff. So the Republicans went, okay, we'll do a compromise. Each slave was worth 3/5 of the representative vote. So for one new representing vote, you'd need two and a half slaves, right? That's how it goes. Not one for one. So the left likes to say that the Democrats like to say the Republicans were racist because they didn't think that slaves were human. But the truth is no, the Democrats wanted to count them for representation but give them no rights whatsoever. That's where the compromise came in. 3/5 compromise. It was a way around this issue. Now we don't even have the 3/5 compromise. You'd think that should still even apply to all the illegal people in the states at a minimum, that they should be counted as 3/5 and not a full. No, that didn't age well. No, none of it aged well. I personally think that they shouldn't have compromised at all. They should have said slaves get no representation votes. You know, they don't count in there. Because you say that they're property doesn't get represented. Are they humans or are they property? If they're humans, give them the fucking rights. If they're not humans, you cannot use them for representation. That's how I'd have played it. But I wasn't there. Yeah. Politics. Another interesting fact, the United States was not the big meanie in historical slave trade. In fact, the Atlantic slave trade paled in compared to the Middle Eastern slave trade. The slave trade was going on long before in the Middle East and in Africa, before the Atlantic nations got involved in it. And there was a pittance compared to what went on in Africa and the Middle East. But you can't talk about that because it's the original sin. Look, slavery is the original sin of every group on earth. Every group on earth. So stop it. Only certain groups have fought and died to end it. Another factoid, there is more slaves in the world today than there was during the Atlantic slave trade era. And in that era, I'm talking about not just the Atlantic slave trade, but in the same time period in Africa, in Asia, in the Middle East. There's more slaves now. It's like this whole grievance thing. You want to bitch, piss, and moan about slavery that happened in the 1800s, in the 1700s? You want to bitch about that? And you ain't doing shit about the slavery going on now? Boy, you're a jackwagon. That's easy bitching right there. You want to, if you really care about it, you're going to be dealing with the shit that's going on now, but you're not. You're just trying to flog white folk. That's right. It's okay. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Like the adage, oh, slaves built the nation. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They were a smaller proportion of society then than black people are today. All black people. Slaves of all kinds in the United States was a smaller proportion of the population than all the black people in the United States today. You going to tell me that they built the fucking nation? No, they didn't. How'd they build a nation when they're picking cotton in Georgia? Tell me about that. It's like, no. Poor people did most of the work, yeah, and most of them weren't slaves. Poor people have always done most of the work. That's the way human history has been. Sucks. Here we are. People want to bitch, piss, and moan about stuff. Stop it. Your life is good. Your life is good. You're not defending yourself from the Mongol hordes. You're not defending yourself from wild natives. You're not defending yourself from bars trying to get into your door. You're holding a fucking sign, yelling at the moon, shaking your fist. No, not even yelling at the moon because you're home by then. Shaking your fist up at the sky and saying how bad things is and how terrible the world is. And then jumping in your freaking cars and buses and what have you and going home and being in your warm houses and like, stop it. You're LARPing. What are you protesting for? You're LARPing. It's a game. It's a freaking game. You have it great. You have it great. People at any other time in history would be just trying to survive. And you got so much free time on your hands that you can bitch, piss, and moan about something that doesn't affect you, hasn't affected anybody in 150 fucking years. It's like, man, stop it. Stop it. Just reach out and take somebody's hand in friendship. Look them in the eye. And be grateful for the wonders that surround you. Don't be a jackwagon. Don't do it. You're not going to agree. You're not going to agree on everything. Fuck it. It's the way it's always been. People don't agree on everything. Get on with life. Does that disagreement affect you? It's like worrying about what people think. Oh my God, you spend so much time worrying about what people think about you. It's like, really? You wouldn't if you realized how little people thought of you anyways. I mean, look, this is what I do. This is what I do. I'm a commentator. But I can guarantee you that for the vast majority of people, you don't leave my show and then well, somebody might. The general public won't every day until the next show. You're not thinking about John and what's the cowboy thinking? What's he's doing? At most you might go, "Hey, this came up on the news. What's the cowboy think about it?" And you just send me something. I'll tell you. Their noses are buried in their phones. Phones and TikTok and social media, and here I am, I use social media. It's like, yeah, stop it. So I tell people, hey, you want a good experiment? Take your phone. And you can have it on you just in case if somebody calls. But put it in your pocket or your phone case. I got a holster for mine. They said, yeah, of course you do. I do. I got a holster for my phone. Way I never sit on it, and it's right over here. I got my pistol over here, and I got my phone over here. Got my knife over here. Got another knife back here. But whatever. Take your phone, put it in its receptacle. And don't fucking touch it. Don't go online. Don't touch it and go your whole day. Hey, remember we used to be able to leave home, and as soon as you left home, that was it. You had no phone, you had nothing. You'd spend your entire day out there without direct communication with the world, and you know what? We survived. We survived. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. Happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. But yeah, we survived. We can do it. And you know what? If you do that on a regular basis, a lot of they get TikTok brain. They've got to always get that high, that adrenaline rush. What's being said? Who's saying it? What's the new thing? And it's just like, stop it. And then the algorithms for social media gives you more of what you were looking at. So it's forced, looped confirmation bias. Doesn't mean it's true, but that's what you hear all the time. And it just rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates. It's like, holy shit, and it's bad enough for adults. That's why you don't keep your freaking kids on the internet. It was crazy when parents were giving their kids pagers, for crying out loud. Hell, if you need to contact your kid when they're in school, you call the freaking office. They get on the intercom and they call down to the teacher's room where your kid is and say, send Susie or Bobby to the office, and it's done. Laurel says TikTok has never been on my phone. Yeah, it's never been on mine either, and it won't be. And I'm not on Twitter, and won't be. Twitter is a fucking cesspool. It's the septic tank of the human existence on the internet is Twitter. And I remember when Musk took over and people were going, oh, look and see, and now we've got rid of this and it's getting better. It's like, it doesn't matter how much shit you take out of a septic tank. It's still a fucking septic tank. It's just got less shit in it. You jump in it, you're still going to get covered in shit. Yash says, I'm happy that I grew up in the time before TikTok was released. Yeah, it's horrible. It programs people. And it's horrible for kids. Again, bad enough for adults, detrimental beyond belief to children. Yeah, not good. And people can say, oh, the government needs to ban it. No, parents need to do their damn job. They're your kids. Keep them off the fucking internet. These people, oh, there's predators out there. Yep. Yeah, there is. Keep your kids off the internet. Yeah, it says the only thing about Twitter, only like one thing about Twitter is that there is little to no censorship. Yeah, there's still some, but it's a septic tank. You know what a septic tank is, don't you, Yash? That's where all the shit goes. You flush it down your toilet. Oh, that's another difference between the U.S. English in the U.S. and German. See, we say the bathroom. Das ist ein Badzimmer. But if you have to take a shit in Germany, you don't ask, wo ist der Badzimmer? You go, wo ist die Toilette? You're actually asking where the toilet is. Makes more sense. We just say bathroom. We don't say, hey, where's your toilet? We go, where's the bathroom? In England, it's the water closet. That would be more aptly, let's say, half bath. So a toilet and a sink. That's another thing. Where's the bathroom? That's another thing. Service members, no matter where you are, you learn that. Entschuldigen Sie bitte, wo ist die Toilette? Yes, we use some French words. Yes. Toilet is just more informal. Yes. Where's the form we say bathroom? Bathroom. Well, that's what I just said. But see, most people don't speak in the formal. Doesn't it sound really weird when somebody speaks in the formal? That's one thing we had to get rid of. We had to learn formal versus casual, because if you're speaking in formal like if you're going to the club and you go again, wie heißen Sie? It's like, no, wie heißt du? Like it would be the equivalent. You sound like fucking Count Dracula. Good evening. I want to know your name. it's just weird. Calm it down. It's what you say and what you or how you address your girlfriend's parents is different than you address your girlfriend's friends. With the parents, you might want to go formal. They'll think better of you. But you go to a club going formal, you go, yeah, that's right, but no, that's not right. What would be another formal versus casual? That would be wie geht's oder wie geht es Ihnen? I mean, both would be, but if you're just casual and you just say wie geht es Ihnen, it's wie geht's. Yeah? Wie geht's. White boy says yes, but if you use formal, after some weeks, they think that you are an AI. Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah, because AIs won't know. Again, AI, it's correct. It's just not correct. But there are many Germans who almost take it as an insult to say do instead. Right, time and place. Again, if you're in a club and you're just among friends, that's fine. If you're out on the street and you're just meeting somebody for the first time, more so if they're older than you or of a higher social status, and yes, that exists. I'm sorry, it's a fact of life. Then Z is probably the safer of the two. You learn these things. And as an outsider, you're gonna mess up. It's easier to mess up. It's better to mess up in the formal than it is the informal. But you'll get better if you know when to use both. That's why I always start out with Z, and if they use do, then I switch to that also. Yeah, that's a good key. Yeah. They welcome you into their informality. I've written about this, and I spoke about it the other week. I reposted one of my old writings that modern society has gotten way too freaking casual. Hand somebody my credit card to pay for a bill, and then they address me by my first name. Like, who the fuck said you can address me by my first name? Do you know me? Mr. Cowboy, thank you very much. Don't call me John. You just rang up my groceries. You're the age of my granddaughter. You don't call me John. Mr. Cowboy's fine. Got to go back to the good old Wild West days. Yeah, and the Wild West wasn't as wild as people think it was. They had lawless areas, but most most areas were not. They weren't that bad. But yeah, what's the fucking wear pajamas out in public? What the hell's up with that shit? Workout clothes and pajamas. I can see workout clothes if you had just come back from the gym and you need to pick up some milk and bread or something like that. Other than that, no. You put on some clothes, and definitely not pajamas. Nothing about the Wild West, too. Most of the gunslingers that supposedly were the deadliest, they didn't kill anybody, or very few. The real deadly gunslingers, most people don't know their names. Laurel says, half of them couldn't pronounce my last name. The first name throws them too. I go by 99% of the time. Lori 99. Yeah. Yeah, bring back suits. Here's funny. People would go to the bread lines in the Great Depression dressed better than people go out to eat. Now, people would go grocery shopping. When I was a kid, it was a joke. Women didn't leave the house to go grocery shopping without makeup on, good clothes, and their hair done. Now, fucking pajamas? Are you kidding me? Stop it. Take pride in yourself. Suits are great. Love suits. Love suits. I don't wear suits very often. I got suits, but I don't wear every. How I'm dressed now is about how I dress most days. So I got different jackets, and I got vests and shirts, and or my jeans and my boots. But it's presentable. And what's this shit going out looking like you just wrestled a bear? If it looks like your clothes are being ripped off your body, don't wear them. When I was a kid, you patched that shit up. And then it was your work clothes. Yeah, it says freaking ridiculous how people dress nowadays. It is, no pride. And here's another thing. You will behave the way you dress. Doesn't mean that jack wagons aren't going to be jack wagons, but generally, you take somebody that's a hoodlum and you put him in nice clothes. Most of them, by just putting them in nice clothes, they act better. If you're feeling shitty about yourself, don't put on those sweatpants. Don't put on that sweatshirt. Get up, shave, take a shower, put on some clothes, put on some decent clothes. And you're going to feel better about yourself. Yeah, it says he likes to dress in a business casual way. Yeah. Casual nice is fine. Pair of slacks. Shoes. Shoes. Yeah. Or boots. A belt. Tuck in your shirt. Yeah, it's like a good turtleneck and suit pants. Yeah, more so if you're out there building a social network. You're gonna build Facebook. Who dressed like that? The Apple guy dressed like that. Judy says it changes the way you feel about yourself. You said that. Yeah. Yes. Same way as your house. Pick up your fucking house. Doesn't mean you got to be home and garden. Everybody's going to have some clutter around. Don't have filth. Pick shit up. Put it where it needs to be. And you'll feel better about yourself. Shower every day. Put on clean clothes. Go for a walk. It's like, fucking go for a walk. Jesus. It's amazing what fresh air and sunlight. Put on some decent clothes. You don't have to, you're not going to a fucking ball or something. Just put on some decent clothes. Go for a slow, casual walk out in the fresh air and the sunlight. And say hello to people. Hey. How you doing? Motherfucker. No. The motherfucker at the end is optional. That's Mr. Motherfucker to you. Okay? I've already talked about this shit. Samuel L. Jackson. Say what? One more time. And if he can put motherfucker in something, he will. I'd like some eggs and toast and coffee black, motherfucker. Yeah, it says people who are going on a walk today also just look at their iPhone. Yeah, stop. Yeah, don't listen to, don't put your earphones in. Again, put your phone. You want your phone? Take your phone. That's fine. Put it in your pocket or in a holster. I got a holster. My son gives me shit about it. I got a fucking holster for everything. It's what I do. I look like the Western Batman. I got shit all over the place. Oh, you don't believe me? Yeah. fucking Western Batman. And you couldn't see the knife on the back either because the vest was covering up the top of it. It's like, yeah, I got a holster and a case for everything. You're laughing, are you? White boy's laughing at me. No. Bro, always, yes. Yeah, yes. I tell people, I get up in the morning, if I'm dressed, I'm carrying. Why? Well, because I never know if I'm going to have to go. And although I live in one of the, it's usually in the top 2 states, 2 to 3 states, safety-wise in the United States. There we go. Very low crime rate. But, you know, White boy says Big Daddy State doesn't allow it here. No, they don't. Unless you're an off-duty polizei. Yeah, not open carry. Well, it's open until I put a jacket on it over, and then it's concealed. But yeah, that's how I dress every single day. Every single day. You need something, it's like, well, John's got a tool for it. He's probably got something on. He's a cross between MacGyver, and Batman. Only pistols you can rock in Germany are gas pistols, blank shit pistols. Yeah. I just as soon stab somebody. In most cases, I say that anyways. It's a knife does you better anyways. But you got to watch out for that in Germany too. Albanian mafia has Uzis. Now, do they have Uzis or do they have the mini Uzis? See, Uzis are fine, but Uzis are like that long, not including the barrel. And the barrel's about like that. The Uzis are about that long. The mini Uzis are only about like this long. Oh, those things are fucking awesome. Excuse me. Oh, mini Uzis they're miraculous. And they also switch the charging handle from the top. They switch it to the side. It's like, oh yeah. Mini Uzis are the shit. Had an 11,000 or 1,100. That was gas, says Donna. Hey, Donna, welcome to the show. So are you saying you had gas, Donna? Yesterday in a city near us, a man with a knife was shot, and I can't see how many times because the heart's in the way. He was surrounded by 10 police officers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and see, a polizei don't fuck around. They don't fuck around. Yeah, they do things a little bit different. Ausweisbitte. they're like, oh shit, John's pulling the fucking Ausweis bitte. Oh, wasn't worth a crap goose hunt in the winter with. Okay, I didn't see that was Donna right, and I thought that was still one of the German guys, and I'm like, man, that sounds like an American shit right there. Because wasn't worth a crap goose hunting in the winter with low base shells. Yeah, it says kind of unprofessional when they think that they have pepper spray and tasers. Yeah. We could do a whole show on use of force and what people think is acceptable or not. Maybe I'll do that sometime. That'd be a good one. Donna says, went back to my 870. Her 8675309. Merry Christmas, New Year's. Christmas, New Year's. No, Christmas Eve. Not Christmas, New Year's. No. Merry Christmas Eve. Christmas, New Year's. Stop it. Yeah, next Sunday will be New Year's Eve. I'm not so sure I'm going to do a show New Year's Eve. I'll have to figure it out. White Boy says, no, they don't have tasers in that state, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know what they carry. I'd have to go through there. Donna laughs, and yeah, White Boy says, as far as that now. Yeah, and the same way here in the States, what their loadout, what their kit is, what their duty belt has is not uniform. Some have tasers and pepper spray. I think they're just giving them way too many tools. The more tools you have, the more hesitation and the chance of picking the wrong one. We had hands-on. Well, shit, we weren't even the average officer back when I was working the roads. A lot of them weren't even wearing second chance vests. Some were. They weren't standard. So I don't like women on the force, too. They can't handle shit. Woman officer can't handle the average man. I'm going to handle a fucking pissed off druggie? No. Going to get people hurt. We've talked about that shit before. Oh. Yes, wants to know if that's a Colt Army model in the back. Close. That's not a Colt. That right there is my Ruger Old Army ball and cap black powder revolver. This is a modern revolver made in the style of the 1840s, 50s. Just before they switched on over into metal cartridges. So this actually has balls that you put in the front. They look like a standard bullet, but you put them in the front and you pack them in. After you put in the powder, and you put in the ball. Put in the ball and you crank it down, and then you seal it off with a greasy wax. And then you, on the back end here, you put little caps. They're little metal percussion caps. And the good thing about this one is, and this was made in 1970s. So it's a modern pistol. It's got modern front sights, blade sight, and it's got an adjustable rear sight. And this Like right now, I've taken it and I've dropped the hammer in between the cylinders. So instead of having a plate that would come up that would protect it, you can actually just place the hammer. If I went right now, it would hit a cylinder right on one of the blasting caps. But this doesn't have any blasting caps. It's loaded, but it doesn't have any blasting caps. If you pull it back just a little bit, over here, there you go. You can place it. You just move the cylinder just a little teeny bit, and you place the hammer right between. There's little teeny grooves. Let's see if we can see here. There's not enough light, but there's little teeny grooves in between the places where you put the nipples with the blasting caps, and that's where you let it rest. So yeah, this is my Ruger. There you go. There's a good shot right there. My Ruger Old Army black powder ball and cap. Yeah, it says, why can't we be allowed to have real guns? Well, you don't have a constitution like we do. Judy says, very nice. Yes. Yes, it's very nice. It is very nice. Then my daily. Full-size service pistol. Beretta. M9. No, not the FS. M9. It's M9, not the FS. Judy says, yes, love that. Yeah, it's sweet. It is sweet. Yeah, it says, nice M9 you have there. Yes, it is. Thank you. Not many people carry them. Number one, they're big, they're heavy, they're thick, so you got to have kind of big hands. I don't have huge hands, but I'm 6'4", so my fingers are long enough. So suits me fine. Donna says I have a couple SIGs. SIG's a good gun. What other guns do you have? I got guns at the wazoo. I got guns. I don't generally list off my arsenal, though. But I am going to do a video series between some black powder guns. I posted up on my other account the Brown Bess musket, black powder flintlock, same ones that fought the Revolutionary War. But I also have a rifle, and that's a black powder flintlock as well. Not a military gun. Takes way longer to load. A lot of some differences, and I should do a video explaining that. There was a video up online I saw, and this young feller loaded up his rifle. He was doing it, and everybody assumed, oh, it took so long and stuff like that, and they're like, warfare took so long. Well, it did, but soldiers weren't using those rifles. They were using smoothbore muskets, not a rifle. Yeah, I guess most Americans tend to buy Glocks in 1911s. Yeah, and that's two different coins right there. 1911's old school. 1911's old school. Love a good 45. Glocks, the plastic fantastic. But yeah, there are a shit ton of choices for folks out there. Donna says Glocks are dependable. Yeah, a lot of them are dependable. A lot of popos carry Glocks. Yeah, Glocks, Smith & Wesson, SIGs. Yep. 1911's framework. Expand on that. I don't know what you mean. Oh, most people. I don't usually break leather. So my gun stays in the holster, but on rare occasions I will let somebody handle my Beretta. And the first thing people go is, number one, wow, that's heavy. And then, wow, that's big. Yeah, they don't realize how big it is. But yeah. Yeah, it says, I really like World War II gun designs. They worked. 'Modern guns are good. 1911's classic. I don't think it'll ever go away. It's a workable design. They were having some issues when they were trying to make them smaller because a 1911 really likes mass. So if the barrel is too short and the slide is too short, it doesn't have enough reciprocal mass to do what it likes to do. So you have to change up your springs. You have to do a lot to it. So it's a fine game to play with the 1911 platform. Donna says a lot of makers have a 1911 framework. Yeah, they usually like to slide it into their inventory. Yeah. A 1911 model of some type. STG44 is my absolute favorite. STG44. Let's go take a look at this. He's laughing. So STG44. Oh, stop it. You can't carry that. Yeah. The MP43 and MP44 were babies. They're the babies of the STG44. A German assault rifle developed during World War II by Hugo Schmeisser, also known by its earlier designations, the MP43 and MP44. The STG44 was an improvement of an earlier design, the Messer Carabiner 42. Yeah, it's pretty small. You still can't carry that. You can't carry that around. Let's pull this up for people so they can see. It kind of looks like a... There we go. And of course, now it's not going to come on. Here we go. Let's see here. We'll get it on. We'll get it going here. There we go. There we go, right there. That's for Yaz right there. Kind of looks like a shrunken down AK-47. And yes, Kalashnikov took German designs and vastly simplified them into a less parts, easier to stamp out and produce battle rifle with high reliability. See, Germans made some good shit. Even their tanks were just they're marvels of technology. Too many fucking parts. That was their too many parts. Too complicated. Yeah, it says pistol-wise, I really like 6 hours from the design. SIGs are fine. Yep, SIGs are fine. Got a SIG shop here in New Hampshire. Got a Ruger shop here in New Hampshire. But I believe that the new Marlins, Ruger bought Marlin, and I believe they're being made in Connecticut, if I think correctly. Which is funny because that state hates the Second Amendment. But yeah. Yeah, it says if they weren't absolute psychopaths, 1933 to 45 Germany, very nice engineers. Yeah, they had their engineers were top notch. But some of the things they over-engineered, unfortunately. Like I said, the tanks, marvels, but too many parts, too expensive to make, too many things would go wrong with them. When they work great. But going back here. Going back here. Yeah, but I point out, what happened in 1930s Germany can happen anywhere. Right set of circumstances. Look what happened during Rovid. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. People are some pretty interesting, predictable species, but not always in a good way. So what else we got going on? We got about a half an hour to go. Don't have a lot of people coming over tomorrow. Got the prime rib. It's all rubbed down and put in the fridge, waiting to go in tomorrow. Donna says, rain, rain, rain. Yeah, you too. Yeah, it's been raining here. Laurel says that it's got rain headed her way tomorrow. A lot of rain. Well, Santa needs rains, right? His reindeer. That's the problem. Wrong fucking rain. See, he said we got some reindeer coming in, and it's like, no, stop it. No, wrong rain. Reindeer. Reindeer. Judy says, sounds so yummy. Oh, it's going to be delicious. Delicious. Wunderbar. Yeah, it says current government is a mess over here. Yeah, join the club. Join the club. Judy says going to be cold here tomorrow, 45 for the high. Can you hear that? Judy says it's going to be cold there with a high of 45. It was 36 today and it was t-shirt weather. Oh, bless you. Bless you, Judy. 45. Man, that's hot. Donna wants to know what's going on in Germany these days. Last I knew they had some immigration issues. Imagine that. Imagine that. Immigration issues. Let me set this back up over there. Look at that. Got it in there first try. That's what she said. Judy says we were in the 60s today. Stop it. See, now you're just being braggadocious. Judy's being braggadocious down there in Oklahoma with 60s. And Donna says, God doesn't everybody. Yeah. They've been building up. They've been building up in Europe for quite a while now. Leadership being stupid about it. It's like, yeah, you can't keep doing this shit. Yeah, says relentless push towards dependency is how I would define Germany. Yeah, get as many people dependent on the system. It's where the welfare system came into play in the United States, and we got more and more people on it. It's not a good thing. You want people to be self-sufficient. Nah. You want them. Government wants them and needs them to be dependent. And I say be as dependent or be as independent as you can. Oh, excuse me. I'd live off grid if I could. It's not in the cards yet. Should read that again, John. Okay, let's see here. Relentless push towards... Oh, degeneracy. Same thing. Yeah, that works too. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, yeah, that's even worse than the fucking dependency issue. Thank you. Degeneracy. I still say be as self-sufficient and independent as you can. That takes care of half that degeneracy shit too. I got to bring these two separate things back in line here. Bring the show back in. Thank you. I can't see. Got the light right in my face. But I am doing better than it was when it was out here in the smaller screen. Like degeneracy. Oh, we could spend a lot of time on that. Some topics I can't do because YouTube shuts me down. There's some issues you cannot discuss honestly and truthfully on YouTube. Like transmissions. See what I did there? Yeah. Yeah. Craziness. Speak truth. It's like that test. I told you I posted up the thing about the test. What was the name of the test? It was it was done in the 1950s. And what they did is they took 8 people. 7 of them were actors, paid actors, and 1 of them wasn't. And the one that wasn't didn't know that the others were paid. And they gave them a card. I'll try to get it right here. Come on now. They gave them a card. And on this card it had, there we go. It's called the Solomon Asch Conformity Experiment. I'll bring this up for you folks. And they gave him this card. And the card's showing up on screen there. Exhibit A, Exhibit 1 over here that is the control card. That's the control line. And they ask them and they say, here's 3 lines over to the right of it. Which line, A, B, or C, is the same length as the line on the left? Judy says, if it wasn't for you and my music, I would do away with YouTube. And if not for my family, I would do away with Facebook. Well, no, I get that. But no, what about you didn't add me on Facebook? back to the experiment. So what they did is all 7 of the actors said that line B, which is the short one, they said the line B was the same length as the exhibit line on the left, as the control line. Clearly, you can see it's not. It's nowhere close. But they convincingly said that B was the same length as the control line was. 30% of the number 8 person, 30% of the people also said that B was the same length as the control line was. 30%. That should horrify people. They also found out that if one person out of the control group, out of the 7, was to say A, which is the correct answer, then those who said B, even though 6 others said B, dropped to only 5%. So if one person out of the 7 said A, which was the correct, only 5% would say B, which was still the majority group. If all 7 said B, 30% said B. That is how people desire for conformity works. Yeah, Donna says that's unreal. Yeah, scary. But we've seen that shit. We saw it during the pandemic. You saw what people did. That's why I say people go, oh, the people in Germany, 1930s Germany, oh, they're terrible. I'd never do that. Bullshit. You'd do that. Now, we might not do that, but the general public would. Most people would. Right. Yeah. Yaz says that sadly in today's world, people call you crazy for telling the truth. Right. But you have to do it. You have to do it. Because if you can cut that bullshit factor, those people continuing the lies, down to a smaller number. I said, look, during the whole Rovid thing, if anywhere between 5 and 7% of the people said, no, we're not doing this shit, it would have went away. Speak the truth. And speak the truth as you see it. You may be wrong. You run the chance of getting wrong. Speak the truth as you see it. Boys are boys, girls are girls. You can't switch. Gender is sex. You can't switch your sex. Judy says, you have too. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, you're welcome. It's in my nature. But yeah. Gender expression, sure. You can do gender expression all you want. Doesn't mean that you're the other gender. You're just expressing yourself different. There's nothing fucking new about gender benders. David Bowie, for crying out loud. Come on now. Fucking a lot of the rockers. Hell, hair bands. They didn't say that they were girls, but they looked like they had makeup and they had freaking frizzy hair. And they didn't say they were girls. They were just expressing their gender differently. Stop the insanity. Stop glorifying mental illness. Stop giving victim status power. That which you give power, you get more of because people want more power. That's why we got all these fucking snowflakes running around claiming to be victims. You ain't a victim. Shut the fuck up. You're not a victim. Right. Wearing a dress doesn't make you a woman. Hell, when we were kids, they start... Boys playing with dolls didn't make them gay. Girls playing with trucks didn't make them gay. You just had tomboys and you had effeminate Boys. You can call them sissies, but... Yeah, it says the world needs religion and morality again. It does. They have pushed religion to the side. They pushed God to the side. Merry Christmas. Donna says, saw a funny the other day. If you put a potato in a microwave and hit the popcorn button, it's still a potato when it's done. Yeah, amazing how that works. It is. It's probably not even warm. It's a lukewarm potato. Yeah. Stop it. Nowadays, can you imagine they go down, they take all the tomboys? PP boy, no PP girl. Yeah, unless you're an anomaly. Oh, and they like to take anomalies. Oh, what about intersex? That is an anomaly, and that is an aberration. It's not normal. It's an abnormality. That's like trying to say that people with Down syndrome represent the human race. They don't. They've got an extra freaking chromosome. They're wrong. They're not the, look, some people born with 6 fingers and 6 toes on a foot. But the human species has 5 and 5. We have 2 arms and 2 legs. Some people are born with no legs. So does that mean that humans don't have 2 legs? No, humans have 2 legs. You don't base things on an abnormality. Oh, they're intersexed or they're hermaphrodites. Yeah, that's a fuck up. That means a mistake happened. You don't base your realities for the norms on mistakes. They do the same thing with people who are morbidly obese. Oh, they're that way because they have medical problems. No, they have medical problems because they have too much weight. Oh, but I know some people have gained weight because they have a medical problem. They are an abnormality. They're not the norm. Most people gain weight. Oh, it's genetics. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, their whole family, because their family has done the same fucking thing for 3 generations, they all eat more than they need. So yeah, the whole family's going to look like that. But if you put them in a regular diet and you increase their activity level to match their caloric intake, they won't look like that. Fucking stop it. Stop it. Stop using abnormalities and extremes to justify the rest as if it is. But that's what they're doing too. Oh, because some people have gender dysphoria, that means everybody out there playing the trans game. That's justified, right? No, they're LARPing. They're playing at it. Stop it. Stop it. And gender dysphoria is a mental illness. Treat the mental illness. Can you imagine giving somebody with anorexia lap band surgery? Giving them a gastric bypass because they think they're too fat? No other mental illness do we, quote unquote, treat it by affirming it. Donna says she comes from a long line of stick people. Yeah. Most people were stick people, though. Some more sticky than others. It's funny. You go back and look at the troops during World War II. You look at them and it's like, damn, we got teenage boys bigger than that shit. People were small. They were small. I'd have been a giant. I'm not a giant now. I'm tall. I'm not big. Tall. Yeah, it says today gender dysphoria is caused by the confusing ass modern cartoons. That's a take. I've never heard that take. And TikTok propaganda. Yeah, I don't know if it's caused by it, but it is a social contagion. Yeah, it's definitely pushed by it. And society gives these people power. They give people power. How about this? Here's another thing I always say. If you truly believe in equality, there would be no fucking protected groups or classes in society. Because that's not equality. Stop having protected groups and classes. Treat everybody the same. Period. You'd get rid of most of this shit in a heartbeat. Yeah, they make cartoons where there are households with two dads and two moms. Yeah, it's been going on a while. They got children's books like that too. It's like, no, stop it. And part of the reason is the destruction of the nuclear family unit. Families not staying together. Dating for pleasure as opposed to dating for finding a spouse. That's why they run through so many people. Yeah, it says I think children shouldn't be confronted with that stuff. No, they shouldn't. Let children be children. When I was a kid, the divorced couples was a minority. It's a minority. I came from a divorced family, but it was a minority. I think I had two other friends that came from divorced families. That's it. That's one of the negative impacts which the feminist movement caused. Yeah, not just feminists, but like here in the United States, it was the government actively pushing for it. They'd go around to communities and saying, if you don't have a man in the house, you can get this money. And that started, what, in the 60s? Something like that. So I was right in the crosshairs of all that crap. But still, as a kid, divorced families were a minority. Nowadays, shit, everybody's divorced. Judy says, mine is the opposite. You have to wake up and take care of yourself. People made fun of you when you're fat and hate you if you're fit. I have experienced all of that. It's okay, though. I feel good. Yeah, do the right thing. Donna says, thank you, LBJ. Yeah. And then they get votes. It is proven. They've proven this. Single women vote decisively different than married women do. Imagine that. Single women are by and large liberal. Married women, even if they start out liberal, tend to become conservatives. Imagine that. So you tell women they don't need men. Men are garbage. You pay them to not have the man around. And then you have multiple children from multiple fathers, none of which are around. And you vote for the programs which keep the money coming in. Yazovich says, and parents have less and less authority since those I hate this. I got a heart over the far end, and I can do things like this. Watch this. I can go boom 100%. But then I can't see what it's. But whatever. Yeah, less and less. The same way here in the States, but most states still give parents a good bit of their God-given rights. Reforms, there we go. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, you could have just typed in blah, 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 and it would have popped the line up and I could see it. But yeah, I wish I could get rid of that because it covers up. Let's see this. Yeah, I can't get rid of it. It's a stupid thing to have down there. But, yeah, some states worse than others. The children do not belong to the states. Here's another thing: you send your kid to public school, the kid does not belong to the community. The public school works for you, and the thing is too many parents over the decades have gotten lazier and lazier, and they just ship their like food. You're going to feed kids breakfast, lunch, and an after school meal now? Really? Get the fuck out of here. The parent can't make sure the kid has something to eat. Even when I was growing up and going to school, even the poorest of the poor, generally they had something to eat before they went to school. But it wasn't society's place. And we've got so many things. If you can't afford to feed your kid, there's plenty of places that'll get you some food. No excuse. But people get lazy. And then the school starts to think, the teachers think, and the administration thinks, and the school board thinks that they suddenly, they're their kids. They're their kids. No, they're not. They're my kids. They're my kids. Think otherwise, we're going to have some words. Words ain't good enough for you. We can dance any way you so please. Homie, don't play that game. They're not your kids. But we got a lazy citizenry. Donna says around here they even send them home with backpacks. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No. You're not helping the kid. You're helping the parent still dodge their responsibility and duty as a parent. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, Gus. Hey, Gus. Gus and Sally, are you there? It's now almost 10 o'clock and you haven't said a damn word. Are you there? To forget about me. It says in Germany, if you try to install a mindset other than the state propaganda, you get into hella problems. Child protection. Yeah, some places are like that here in the States. Not where I live. Not where I live, but some places. More liberal states. Yeah, and the whole thing about public schools was taken from the Prussian school system, and they were designed to basically manufacturers. In other words, they needed people that would work in factories and be obedient in a given environment and to do what they were saying. That's where the public school model came from, and then it spread around the world. It always gets me too. This like boys and girls. Oh, the boy. It's put him on Ritalin because he's got a lot of energy. No, he's got a lot of energy because he's a fucking little boy. Little boys and little girls are not the same. We don't learn the same. We don't think the same. We have different attention spans for good reason. Stop trying to make little boys into carbon copies of little girls. Let little boys be little boys. Teach them discipline, self-discipline, not drug, self-discipline. And also give them a way to let off their energy. Yeah, it says, I think school classes should be separated by strengths and skills. Yeah, so, yeah, with some overlap. But don't let the slow pull the whole group down. Don says that crap needs to stop. Yeah. Judy says, please. Right. And this was all basic shit. We knew that. We're from a different era. We knew that shit. It was common sense. That's where the saying, boys will be boys, came from. It doesn't excuse bad behavior, but a lot of the behavior that is labeled as bad isn't bad. It's different. different. Don't treat little boys like girls and little girls like boys. They're not the same. Teach them to interact with each other correctly. Yes. Teach them good behavior. Yes. But also remember etiquette was totally different. Boys and girls had different etiquettes. Girls were taught a certain set of skills and mannerisms, and boys were taught certain set of skills and mannerisms. Some were the same, but many were different. Why? Boys and girls are different. We have different roles. Chivalry. Chivalry. Be chivalrous. I am a chivalrous man. Right. Laurel says common sense is no longer very common. Yeah, Donna says I think Dr. Spock started that crap. He was a if he wasn't the starter, he was definitely one of the big pushes for it. Dr. Spock was some of the worst freaking shit that came down the pike. Yeah, it says, for example, crafty kids in one class while they're taught with more crafty focus. Well, see, here in the States, we do that because you get, after a certain, once they get into like junior high, things expand, and then you can choose the classes different. So each student, you went to a class of your intellect level, your abilities, your interests, your proclivities. So yeah, that sort of happens. But now it was when I was stationed in Germany. What Germany had is once they got to a certain age, they could continue on through high school or use those final years and work in an apprenticeship program. Do they still do that? Because I think that is awesome. I think that was awesome. I wish the States had that. Because it doesn't make sense for every kid to, number one, not everybody needs college. Number two, not everybody needs a high school education. They need up to a certain level, and they'd be better served to then go to a trade school or apprenticeship program for the final years, last 3 years, 4 years of high school, learn a trade, and have a job when is graduation time. Yeah, it says everyone in Germany, everyone gets the same education until high school. Yeah, here in the States, it's the same, and they generally one classroom instruction up until like middle school, and then junior high, it diversifies. Yeah, it says you are forced to go to school at least 9 or 10 years. Right, but then after that, you can either graduate high school or you go through the apprenticeship program, right? Donna says right on. Yeah. Says, yeah, isn't that where the gifted and talented is supposed to do? Yeah, because not everybody, and we talked about this with careers too. Not everybody has careers. The vast majority of people have a fucking job. Jobs don't define you. It's a way of gathering resources. And those resources, let's say you're making $18 an hour working at fast food, or you're making $18 an hour working in a factory. Is one better than the other? Is one worth more than the other? No, it's $18 an hour. The stuff that you're buying, the rent that you're paying, the stuff for your car, it doesn't care. It's resources. Don't give a shit. Get the job that pays your resources. You're not less of a person because you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, or if you're sweeping floors at the local tech, or whether you're assembling parts on the production line. That's not your worth. That's not your worth. That's how much that job is worth in resources to your employer. It's not your worth. Yeah, it says, yeah, you can do either keep studying or go into an apprenticeship. Right, that's what I thought. Like I said, that's what it was, but it's been a good many years, so I didn't know whether they still had that. I think it's an awesome system. Because you don't need that shit. The average person doesn't need to go to school for 12 fucking years when they really didn't learn anything for the last 2 or 3 years anyways. It's just taking tests and regurgitating shit. All the stuff that was truly important happened in the formative years. Unless you're going to go on to further education. Then you might need some extra shit. Then stay. But why should anybody do that? But the same way the college is doing the same damn thing. You want a degree in X, you got to take these math, social studies, and freaking English courses that have absolutely nothing to do with... You're going to be a math major, you're going to be an engineer, and you got to take freaking Renaissance poetry? What the fuck? No. Cut that shit out. Teach them what they need to know. And stop using government money to subsidize going to school. If it was really worth the money, then banks would loan it just like any other loan. But they know it's not worth the money. They're going to fucking make 6 figures doing underwater basket weaving and freaking feminist dance theory. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, as I just don't like that school doesn't prepare you for life in Germany. People get out of school and we have no idea what taxes. Yeah, that's a shame. Too many places in the States is like that too. When I was going through school, we had classes on checking, basic tax work, not tax code, but this is basically how things work, basic social structures and stuff like that. Yeah. We covered a lot of this stuff when I was in school. Why they stopped is beyond me. But on the same note, parents need to be teaching their kids how to do this shit. Civics, right, Donna says. Civics. We were taught to analyze poems from the 1800s, but not basic tax stuff. Yeah, because they don't want you getting pissed off before you have to be. But yeah, learn civics, basic civics. But again, parents have a duty and responsibility as well. There's no reason why, like our kids, we taught that we sat them down with their checkbooks. We got them their first checking account. We sat them down. We showed them how to balance their checkbooks. We showed them how to do that shit. Home ec shop, etc. Yeah. The high school that I went to was the VOTEC. So I did everything. I also grew up poor, so I did a lot of the shit at home. But yeah, we had sewing, cooking, metalwork, woodwork, auto mechanics, all that shit. You could do music, chorus, or an instrument. Yeah. Yeah. But again, parents have a duty as well. Schools should do it because they're using taxpayers' money. Damn it, teach them. That's another thing. As the kids got older, it got to be the point where the teacher was like, no, the parents have to get online to the school portal and make sure the kids, I don't have to fucking do shit, bitch. And I told him as much. I don't have to do that. I am not paying you to teach my kids so that I can then, after working my ass off all day, do half of your fucking job. What your job is you teach them, and if they are not doing what they're supposed to do, you let me know, and I will put the fear of God in them, and they will do what they're supposed to do. But you are to teach them. That's your job. If I wanted to homeschool my kid, I'd freaking homeschool my kid. I will teach him the other stuff. I will teach him how to sharpen a knife. Teach him how to shoot a gun. Teach him how to skin a bear. I'll teach them stuff. This is how you vacuum the floor. This is how you sweep. This is how you mow the lawn. This is how you cut wood. This is how you, it's how you shovel snow. Because yes, there is a system to these things. But you're supposed to teach them reading, writing, arithmetic, social studies, grammar, all that other shit. That's what you're supposed to, science. It's what you're getting paid to do. Donna says, if I had kids, I'd probably be under the jail. Oh, I'm so glad that they're, like I said, my youngest is 23. Oldest is 40. My school years for the kids are done. Done. But I'm telling you, the last few years, it's like, no, sorry, no. Yeah, it says, at least I was taught what taxes are between 11th and 12th grade. Yeah, that was good. That was good. They teach you how to read a freaking watch with a face, a clock with a face. There's kids nowadays, they couldn't look at I got a face clock over here. They couldn't look at the clock and see that it is now 12 minutes after 10. Just by looking at it. They couldn't do that. They got to see the digital readouts. Like, what the hell? They can't count change? Can't count change? Can't read a faced clock? Hell, I can read a damn sundial. I can without a sundial, I can go out any time of the day as long as it's sunny, and I can tell you roughly what time it is because I look at the fucking shadows. Kids nowadays can't look at a freaking faced watch and tell you what time it is. They can't read cursive. You want to keep them not apprised of shit, write everything down in cursive. It's like, what the hell? How are you going to sign shit? Going to just print out your name? Got to have a freaking signature. That's cursive writing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Man, what the hell? Be lost. It's crazy. Yeah, she says, yeah, because being confused about your gender is more important than basic life skills. Yeah, it's more important to know that you can wake up this morning and you can feel like a Z or a Zer. And that, no, I don't feel comfortable in my body, so I must be something else. Bitch, nobody is comfortable in their body when they're growing up. Nobody. Male and female are going through hormonal changes. Our bodies are growing in weird ways. Nobody is secure and feels normal in their body. Guess what? That's normal. You're not abnormal for feeling not normal. That's normal. Everybody's doing it. But it doesn't mean, and here you go, by not having these boundaries, by not having this reality, kids are absolutely fucking miserable. They're miserable because they can do and be anything they want, and they still know it's bullshit. They still know it's bullshit. What the hell? No, this is the way things are. It's the way things are. That doesn't mean that you be mean to people. But you don't lie. You don't go along with delusions. You don't. The important things is, oh, geez, goddamn. Man, wouldn't it be great if we just went back to like goths and punks and greasers and hicks and preppies? just go back to that shit. Just go back to that shit. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Not my pronouns. Fuck you and your you don't have any pronouns. You don't have what you don't own, and you don't own the fucking language. You don't own the language. You don't control that which you do not own. It's not being mean to call you a she if you're a girl. It's not mean to call you a he if you're a guy. You're not a zer. You're not a they, them. You're not an it. Well, some of you might be its. Yeah, it says back then I thought it couldn't get worse than emos. Yeah, emos. Can you imagine? So you had the emos, you got the goths, you got the freaking. No, that was it, and that was just a style. That's all it was. That inclusive language bullshit is all. Yeah, no, this is funny. Inclusive. They talk about what's more inclusive than he and her. That's it. That's everybody. That's fucking everybody. How more inclusive do you want? You don't get more inclusion by separating people into smaller and smaller, made up, insane categories and groups. That's not inclusion. You were fucking included in the beginning. He and her. Done. Fucking done. You're included. Xerxes, Xerxes. I am God King Xerxes. That's why I go, that's my pronoun, motherfucker. I'm God King Xerxes. All I ask that you kneel before me. No, it's insane. It's stupid. And it's funny. This is shit we used to laugh at. This is look, kids have always had their fantasies. Look, when I was a kid, me and my friends, we used to learn Latin. Why? Because nobody spoke Latin. So that was our cool thing. We were these weird guys that spoke Latin. I don't remember a damn thing. But it was just something that we did. You know, Morse code. I went through a thing with Morse code. I had to learn Morse code because nobody knew Morse code. That's now it's like, no, I'm gonna put on makeup and a skirt and pretend I don't have a penis, and hell, it doesn't matter because girls can have penises anyways. Like, no, they can't unless they buy them. Cowboy want to go on a crusade. Oh man, oh, you should, man. You're new to me. This is the way I am. I've been writing articles about this shit for years. Speaking out to people and saying, "Hey, wake the fuck up." It's like stop it. Sally goes, I don't know if Gus and Sally are there, but Sally's always like, "What's John's blood pressure?" John's blood pressure is going up again. That's fine. I'm good. Got a release valve. No, it's speaking biology isn't hateful. Speaking reality isn't hateful. Hateful is going along with the delusion that is not real, and everybody that does it, they lie. They lie to themselves. They're not happy. It's a whole body positivity shit. Body positivity, my ass. Oh, you're perfect the way you are. Bullshit. Nobody's perfect the way they are. That means you don't have to improve anything. You've got no faults. You're perfect. Bullshit. Bullshit. You may be good. I'll give you might be good. You ain't fucking perfect. Stop it. Find that you need to make better and make it better. Or if you think you're fine, you're fine. Okay, you're not perfect, but you're fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, body positivity until a man is below 6 feet. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, convince me of this body positivity shit when you think that fat guy over there with BO and messed up hair and he is only 5'4". He got a big ass nose and he's got 3 warts on his face. You tell me that he's perfect. No, but if it was a girl the same way, the only thing different is she had a vagina and breasts. She's perfect. She's a 10. She's a 10. Bitch, you ain't a 10. He ain't a 10 either. We do have standards. I'm not a 10. I'm probably a 4 on a good day. maybe a 5. Real good day, I might be pushing 700. No. No, it's like, oh, but people think that, oh, it's confidence. Saying you're a 10 is confidence. No, it's not. It's delusion. Confidence is going, I'm a 4. But I got some really fucking good qualities, and these are my qualities over here, that can tip the scale on an overall spectrum, which will lead me to be an 8 overall. But I'm only a 4. Yosh said you're a solid 7 or 8. I'd say, no, thank you. No, I'm not. Thank you. Yeah. Out of 10? 10 is like perfection. No. Thank you. Bless you. Bless you. The missus would probably agree with you. But no. No, confidence is knowing where you're at. And then going with it. And going, yeah, now I'm going to fix these things that may be my weaknesses. It's okay. You don't look as good as this other guy, but you got more skills and you got more drive. Laurel says, I'd say you're an 8 or 9. Bless you. People are all delusion. I need to fucking get out a mass eye kit for everybody. But thank you. No, I 4. But no, it's. And I don't say that in a way that I hate myself. That's another thing. You don't have to hate yourself. Be comfortable. And then work to improve yourself where you can. If you're physically unable, improve your mind, improve your knowledge, improve your skill set. Make yourself. Again, it's a spectrum. It all evens out. There's guys that are like 9s and 10s that they can't do their laundry. They can't change a car tire. They can't cut wood. They can't stop a sucking chest wound. They can't. They're like, holy shit, we're going into combat here. But yeah, they can't stop a bleed. They can't find their way around. Yash says, recently I saw a clip of a podcast where women called someone a misogynist, and the woman, he asked her to define what it means. And she started crying and left the podcast. And is that it sounds like something that would be on the whatever podcast. I've been debating whether or not I should take clips of that and do my reaction to clips, because everybody's doing that now. It's low-hanging fruit, but it's about the only one that I can think of that would be worth my time to critique the horseradish that's going on. But it sounds like the whatever podcast. But no, confidence is not delusion. Yeah, I think it was from that podcast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably was too. Yeah. Bunch of 304s on there. It's like freaking delusional. And the girls, they lie to themselves and they wonder why they're going to end up old, bitter, alone, and have 5 cats. Because they've been lied to. They've been lied to by the feminist movement. They've been lied to by society. They've been lied to by themselves. Laurel says, I never liked pretty boys. Always liked confident, able to fix stuff, take care of themselves guys. A killer smile that reaches through the eyes. Yeah. It's like I try to say too is the face and the eyes is very. When you're sitting across from somebody and you're talking to them at dinner time, it's good that they got a good body and stuff like. But you're looking at their eyes. I'm not saying all the other stuff isn't important. It's a package. There's a lot that goes into it. Pretty boys are fine if they've got usefulness. Now that doesn't mean that, and I guarantee Laurel's probably not saying The guy can look like a fucking troll, but if he was useful, he's hot. No, that's not the case either. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. There's a middle ground. Competence, confidence, and utility are very attractive for females. And then they have to like the package that it's in. They got to not hate it. But it's the same way with guys. You can't. She can be perfect, but if she doesn't do it for you visually, it's probably not going to work. But the visual may catch your attention, but it's not going to hold you. You better be more than that. You better be more than that. And here's another thing. Guys, overall, guys tend to be much more forgiving than girls do. Donna says, I'm old and alone, but definitely not bitter. That's okay. I'm talking about you. Besides, you have cats. You have cats. Judy says, you have to be attracted to the person. The rest is kind of easy. Yeah, easier. Yeah. But that's why, we talked about this on the show before. That's why pretty people, they're never happy and they can never keep somebody. So I say all the time, you go online, people, oh yeah, I got all these guys that are after me. No. They may want to fuck you, but they're not after you. They don't want to keep you. If you were the catch, and the same way with girls, if you were the catch, that girl would find you and go, this is the motherfucker that I want to have. And they're going to keep them. But they don't. Because it's superficial. That new car smell goes away. What was this? The shirt says something like, yeah, that sexy bitch or something like that. Somebody, or that sexy gal that looks hot to you or something like that. That somebody else can't stand, trying to get rid of the bitch or something. I don't know. I forget. It's late, but you know what I'm saying? So you got Brad Pitt and all these movie stars and all these models, and they can't stay in a relationship. And it's like, man, they're perfect, right? No, they're just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. Except for they don't have anything but their looks. And that new car smell is going to go. And Laurel says exactly. Right. Everybody's a package deal. Somebody I told you about the troll. Remember, I'd posted up on Facebook. The guy, he followed me from Facebook to Instagram. And he went to my duster picture and he said, all hat. It's like, oh, you think that's going to bother me? For those maybe that might not be familiar, all hat comes, it's a shortened from all hat, no cattle. It's an old saying from somebody that just had a big hat, had no cattle. They're just talking bluster. They don't mean anything. It's like, okay, it didn't refute any of the things that I'd stated. And plus, he doesn't fucking know me. But no, I don't have any cattle. I got some chickens. But I've got utility. I know what I'm talking about. If I don't, I look it up and I ask about it. If I make a mistake, I admit I made a mistake and I correct it. And I have utility. People used to call me Mr. Fix-It. If it's broken, I'll fix it. Why? I grew up poor. I couldn't buy anything new. Learn how to fix shit. Carried on to the present day. If it's broke, I'll fix it. I have utility. Never ask my woman to shovel snow. Never ask my woman to cut the grass. Never ask my woman to till the soil. She can help plant if she wants, but all that other shit, that's mine. That's men work. Don't ask to cut wood, lug wood, split wood, stack wood. It's my job. I have utility. Still open up the door. To the house, to the car. What are you going to offer the woman? Looks? Looks? Okay. Can you sit down and talk with them? Can you fix shit? Can you fix shit? Can you lift some shit? Can you protect them? Are you a man? Or are you a model? Are you just a pretty face? It's good enough for women. See, women nowadays, they think that's what... Oh, what do you bring to the table? Me. That's it. Oh, just you. Just you. What exactly are you? You going to be supportive? Going to be a partner? You're going to do the things that is expected of you? You're going to bring peace to my life. Men want peace. Here you go. You can be the prettiest girl in the world and bring nothing but a bunch of hornet nest trouble. Men don't want that. They'll take the plain girl that appreciates him for what he is, what he does, what he brings, that is his partner, brings peace to his life. Judy says, that's the easy part, LOL. It's easy to see through the rest. Yeah. Yeah. People have been lied to, and we got generations of men now that just, the society has pushed them aside. You're no good. You're no good. Everything that a man's supposed to be, that's bad. That's toxic. It's not fucking toxic. Bad behavior is toxic. Simply being a masculine man and doing man things isn't by nature toxic. Abusing people is toxic. Women fucking abuse people. We're going to talk about this before. The vast majority of people who abuse children are women. Has been, always been. Why? They spend the most time around them. And women are emotional creatures. When a man abuses, he causes more harm, or has potential to. Same way with spouse abuse. Men are not the leading abuser of spouses. Women have been. Because men, in general, put up with the shit. They don't report shit. They're ridiculed. If you're a man and you're abused, you are ridiculed. If you're a woman and abused, you're praised. You are raised up on high. It's the fucking way it's been. Again, I can deal with it. It's human history. The gaslighting about the shit is what pisses me off, though. That's what pisses me off. You want to see, men fuck everything up. We need a world run by women. Have you seen an office full of women? Have you seen a business full of women? Have you seen a group full of women? You see the shit that goes down? You don't find that shit with men because we sort shit out real quick. And we do so in ways that are very expedient. We own the physical domain. Women, manipulative, character assassination, bullying, ridicule. It's the tools that women have, and they use them. Oh, John hates women. No, I know women. I love women. But I'm not going to lie about the dynamics that are involved. And I've said this before. Half the problem in the West is we have a bunch of fucking out-of-control women and not enough strong men to keep them under control. It's a man's job to make sure his woman isn't going off the fucking reservation. And it's a woman's job to bring softness and feeling into a man. We complement each other. We work with each other. We're two separate sides of the coin that come together to form the most perfect pair. Trying to act as if one is exactly like the same and they're interchangeable. They're fucking not. They're not. Oh, but I knew it. Yeah. There's that outlier shit again. Judy says, yes, and it's fucked up. My job went downhill when managers changed. Oh, it is. Yeah. They've done, the stats are out there. They've asked women, who would you rather have as a boss, a man or a woman? Most of them say a man. Who would you rather work with on a team? Men or women? They almost all exclusively say men. Because we do things different. We don't play those games. But I've said this before, you want to fuck up a dynamic, throw a woman in there. Because men act different around women. It's like, oh my goodness. Don't get me started. Get me started on police force and military and stuff like this. Like, oh, you're winding John up again. Whee! Oh my goodness. Oh. But yeah, you got to be honest with yourselves. Society has lied to people. Lied. Oh, a woman can act just like a man. Oh, a man's running around like a dog and he's screwing everything that moves. Yeah, he's programmed to do that. It's mindless. A woman is programmed to take the best genes, to pick the best man, the one that can give her the best offspring and can provide for her and that offspring, and be it resources, safety, you name it. That's what her job is. And they've right, Donna says men keep it simple. Right. It's like when you ask a man, what are you thinking about? He goes, nothing. Chances are it's nothing. It's really nothing. It's, when we really sit and contemplate, we can contemplate. But a lot of times we don't. We're not thinking about. I'm thinking about the Roman Empire. That's what we're thinking about. Thinking about global conquest. But yeah. Out of control people with unrealistic expectations that want to lie about reality, and then they wonder why everybody's freaking miserable. Who'da thunk it, right? Who'da thunk it? Oh my God. Stop it. Women are beautiful creatures. They're endowed with a beautiful set of gifts. Yes. But here's another thing. By saying that doesn't mean, guess what? They can't do shit on their own. I'm strong, independent. How you going to fucking have a child? You going to independent that shit out of thin air? It's like, yes, we're a partnership. Stop it. Our roles are different. A woman's role is to help keep the species alive. A man's role is to make the world keep running. Provide the safety, provide the raw resources. It's what we're designed for. Women, they do, this is it. And we give this to the women. There, you can have it. Yeah. Competition. It's not a fucking competition. It's a partnership. Men would die. Yeah. Oh, you can. Oh, I'm a mountain man. I'm not. Yeah, you can survive out in the wild. And then your genetic line ends. It ends. You need women. Think a man at the end of his life is going to look back and go, yeah, I had a Ferrari and 5 houses and stuff. It's like, and that's going to be, that's what you have? What's your legacy? You have kids? Did you contribute to the species? As a husband, a father, grandfather, great-grandfather. Trying to think. Not yet. Not yet. I could be. I could be. I've got some grandchildren of just reaching into the childbearing ages, but yeah, no, not a great grandfather. The same way with women. You're going to act like a man in his 20s, in his 30s, while you're in your 20s and 30s. Look, you're supposed to be having kids. You're in your sexual prime. You've got a clock. We don't have a clock. You've got a clock. Oh, that's unfair. Fair, not fair, who gives a shit? It's the way it is. It's biology. And why? Because your body is more able to handle the stresses and the rigors of both childbearing and child rearing. You don't want to, even if you can bear a child when you're 50 years old, you don't want to rear that child. You're going to be 70 by the time they're 20. Are you fucking kidding me? The great thing now about grandchildren is I can spend time with them and send them fucking home. So, yeah, I don't want to be raising kids, rearing kids, and a woman, her body is going to break down. Oh, but I know so. Yeah, the outliers. Judy says exactly, 100% right. Our worth as a species are in two different parts of their. Women are born with instant worth, because they can bear children. Men can't bear children. We can produce children, but any man can produce children, can inseminate, but the women they control. That's unless of course they're not, and that's a different issue. But so their worth is when they're in their sexual prime. That's what. Stop acting like you're those 23-year-old men aren't worth it. They have no market value. They get their market value when they're in their mid-30s. Unless they both marry young. Laurel says, I'm heading off to bed. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, Laurel. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, it's closing in on 11:15. We got yak in here. But thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve. Thank you for joining the show. But yeah, they act like so. Then you watch these aging models and actresses and stuff, and it's like, yeah, they were hot shit in their 20s and 30s, and now that they're 50, and it's like, oh, poor me. Who was that girl from the long dark hair, big breasts, had a ghost show, Ghost Whisperer or some shit like that. What the hell's that girl's name? Skinny gal. She talked to ghosts in the show. I forget her name, but whatever. She's been out there complaining now that she was sexualized when she was. Yeah, yeah, she was. Yes, she was. Yeah. And she went and she auditioned for those jobs. She knew what she was getting. She knew why she was getting it. And she was taking every bit of advantage of her sexuality. Yes. Yeah. Good on you. Good on you. You played the game. Don't come now when you're approaching 50 years old and act like that was a bad thing. And even more so, don't act like you're pissed off because your sexual currency isn't the same as it was when you were 25. Well, you're not freaking 25 anymore. Oh, but men, when they're 50, because we aren't valuable at 25. You think that your peak value at 25, say, should last forever as the value that it was. No, your value changes. When you hit 50, Elvira, no. See if I can find her name. Yeah, there we go. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ghost Whisperer. She wasn't even, let's face it, I don't think that, I would have given her a 7, a 6 or a 7. She was just really skinny with big breasts. That was her thing. But that aside, it's like, yeah, by the time you hit 50, you should be a grandmother. You should be a grandmother. And grandmothers are a needed part of the family. They're a glue to an extended family. You still hold high value. It's just not the same value it was when you were 25. Men, when they're 25, they're fodder. Get out there, work. Get out there, sacrifice your body. Get out there, protect. When they're 50, you've gained the resources. You've got some knowledge. You got a bunch of skills. You're now desirable for a bunch of other reasons. That's why men in their middle age is very attractive for a lot of women. There you have it. I guarantee you, here you go. I guarantee you that the gals that would have thought that I was attractive at 25 would not be attracted to me now. And vice versa, probably if they were attracted to me as I am now, they probably weren't attracted to me at 25. I hadn't racked up, for the most part, the currency. I was working at it, but I hadn't racked up the currency. Where a girl who's 25 already has the currency. She's born with it. I was watching too, and I think it was the Whatever podcast. And the girls were saying that guys don't have to do anything for a date. The girls, they have to put on makeup, they have to make sure their clothes are right, and they fix their hair. And I was a mom at 19, a grandma at 33. Yeah, which was common in yesteryears. It's common. But yeah, the men don't do anything. All they got to do is show up. And a guy asked her, says, you think that? That all the man has to do is show up. Well, that man has spent years gaining the resources, expecting to pay for the meal, right? Getting the resources and skills, getting the job. Becoming the attractive package that got you to say yes to go out on that date in the first part. It took years for this shit. All it took you is put on some makeup, curl your hair, and put on a nice dress. Who actually has to prepare more and work harder to go out on that date? And it ain't the girls. But it's not how they look at things. It's not how they look at things. You go, oh, shit. Yeah. This isn't a slam on women. You're a beautiful, beautiful creature. Oh, my God. John called them creatures. Yes, you're a beautiful creature, and we're a bunch of beasts. But yeah. Lied to the modern woman. Lied. And most of it from women. They're their worst fucking enemies. And then you've got, like I said, you've got a generation and a half to 2 generations of men that are lost. They're listless. They've been told that women don't want and don't need them, strong, independent woman. Why should they grow up acting like a bunch of fucking adolescent boys? 30 years old, acting like they're 13. Why not? Shit, if they marry a girl, they can lose everything they have. Very seldom do you see a woman say, I lost everything. No, you lost some shit. The guy lost everything. in most cases. Most cases. Marriage law needs to change. This whole fucking no-fault divorce, that was another thing that helped the demise of the family unit. No-fault divorce. No, fault divorce. Think long and hard before you married that person. Think long and hard before you have children with that person. And have children with that person after you've married that person. And then freaking stay with that person. Unless there is a legal justifiable reason. And there always has been, even in biblical times. There were justifiable reasons for divorce. But they were very few and very specific. So we introduced the welfare state and no-fault divorce. How's about them apples? Crazy. Like I said, then the feminist movement, lying to women. They're not happy. I'm having issues here. Holy crap. Okay, are we back on? Had a glitch in our stream there. We back on? Go ahead and type up something. I don't know how much got cut out there or not. Okay, she's saying yes. You probably saw a couple glitches in there. Sorry about that. Don't know what the hell happened. But yeah, I don't know where the hell I was. John's on a rant. John's on a rant. I tell you, I'm wrong. 1880s, I'd be fine. I'm in the wrong decade. I'm a decade and a half off. Oh my goodness. This society needs to pull its head out of its collective ass, because it's going no place good. But that said, we're pulling up to the top of the hour again. We're almost an hour over. On our I was going to say New Year's Eve. It's not New Year's Eve. On our Christmas Eve show, boy, we covered all sorts of shit. Like I always used to say, you never know what's going to be talked about on the Whiskey Cowboy Live. And tonight lived up to that. We're all over the place. Don't know if Gus and Sally showed up or not. I'm going to have to contact him at some point. Say, hey, Gus. I'll call him tomorrow anyways. Wish him a Merry Christmas. Say, gosh, you didn't come to my show. You hurt my feelings. Oh man, coffee. But yeah, thank you all for joining the show. I don't know who all's there. I'm still seeing numbers, but I haven't heard the fellers. Seen the fellers type up recently. Of course, it's after midnight there. Donna says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas, Donna. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. I will be posting online again tomorrow anyways. I may or may not do a musical video for you folks. I have no idea. I can't promise. Like I said, I was planning on it, but last couple of days I was just enjoying being down in the living room playing. Didn't come up into the studio with it. But yeah, tomorrow's Christmas. Monday, yeah, no trash. Monday's usually a trash day, so no trash for me. Put that out Tuesday morning. Judy says, Merry Christmas, Cowboy. Great show, and thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for showing up. Next show, maybe New Year's Eve. I don't know yet. I'll play it by ear. I know not everybody goes out and celebrates. I don't celebrate. New Year's Eve is just another night for me. But we'll see. I'll let you all know before Sunday. I'll tell you what. I'll do a video letting folks know, because there might be some people that don't follow my Facebook, but I'll put it up on Facebook as well. I'll do a short thing and let people know. Judy says, I don't go out either. Yeah, what the hell am I going to do out there? You go out, Then there's a bunch of people acting the fool. Then you got to get your ass home. It's just like, no, I'd rather stay at home. We used to stay up and watch the ball drop, I think, in Times Square. We haven't done that in ages. Usually it's like, oh, shit, 11:30, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, life goes on. Life goes on. But again, thank you all for joining the show. See you next time. I will post up on Facebook as well as do a short here on YouTube to let folks know whether I am having the show or not. I will say I'm having the show or I'm not. And I'll still be posting up on Facebook the whole time. So again, thank you very much. God bless and take care.